Hi, this is Chaucer from CLG here with doing a Razor Academy guide. This guide will be basically just explaining a lot of neat wards and how to ward these ward placements. You don't necessarily have to be a support. This is just a basic tutorial for like higher level warding for competitive players. Well, let's start off by spamming some wards.
Let us press on.
I'm going to start off first with some dual lane wards since I am a support player. There are a few wards that you can place that most people aren't aware of. You start over here by the double golems. A lot of times the enemy will invade your jungle and you won't have any vision of your own red buff. Say the enemy invaded you, like down here, you know, came in here. Say your AD carry was here and you're like, oh no, they're all here. You guys are just standing around double golems, you don't know what's going on, and you want to know if they start your red buff. How do you do it? You can't just approach this area. So, what do is you walk over to the double golem cove, you hug the wall, pop out a ward, and you see this cursor? See how it's light blue everywhere? But the moment it goes into the brush, it's green. Light blue, green. Light blue, green. And green basically means that this ward is now in the brush. So you place the ward there, it'll give you vision of the brush, and it'll give you enough information you need.
Immediately.
So, that's a pretty good ward. That's a really good ward that most people aren't aware of. And you can do this over here as well. If you're on purple side, you would just hug this wall, and you do the same thing. You wait until the cursor goes green, and then it'll be in the brush.
Honor compels me.
And also, another thing you like to do as a dual lane support is, generally you guys like to start these double golems right here. But you can't do them safely because the enemy is smart enough to know that you're going to start it. So you want to use your Explore ward at around 1 minute. It only lasts 60 seconds, so you don't want to place it too early. I know it's 2 minutes now, but generally you'd wait until 1 minute at least. Pop your Explorer there, and then you guys can sit here and wait it out and do your double golems afterwards. Alright, look at the lane here. If you're dual laning, and you think you're just playing up, you're winning the lane, you think you're 100% safe, where is your ward going to be? In the river. Generally, people will just ward this area. Give you good vision of both chokes. This is a decent dragon ward, right? It's pretty normal ward. This is probably where you'd place your pinks if you're gonna pink dragon. But look at where the ward reaches. Look at this vision. Stops right here. That means any jungler with a gap closer can just easily just walk in, just Jarvan EQ in. Lee Sin can ward jump in. Someone can even just flash over if they know that this is your only ward. So this is why a lot of players always ward this brush instead. The ward here. Because it still gives you a lot of time to react to a river gank. You'll be like, oh wait, it's coming down right here, we gotta back off, you know? But at the same time, they can't cheese you from over here. So that's why that's just an overall just really good ward.
Immediately.
Now, to show you, this ward at the Wraith entrance is a dual purpose ward. It works for both blue side and purple side. So basically, you just place the ward around right here. You see this? You see the vision that this ward gives you? It allows you to see the entire choke as well as this corridor. If any enemy walks from the mid lane brush into this blue buff, you will be able to track their movements. So because of this is more of a purple side ward. At level 1, if you're purple side, you just rush through here, place a really quick safe ward. This is safe, by the way, because you know everyone else will just be grouped here. You just place this ward here real quick. It'll look at your own choke, and then you can just leave. And you'll understand if the jungle, like, if they want to delay invade your blue, they can come through here. You'll see them. If they come through mid, they try to be sneaky. They think you placed like a deep wraith ward. Because generally, right now, a lot of people just place, oh, deep wraith ward, red brush ward, and like a ward down here to check doubles out. And then this area will be exposed. So a lot of people will be clever and they try to rush through mid, and they'll get spotted by this ward, which also spots this. So it's really just it's a great informational ward. So we'll just be moving over here. Now I'll be showing you a ward that I like to place around blue buffs areas. This brush, you notice how there's a corner here. Wards can't see past corners, so you always want to put it at the tip so that it could like expose both areas.
Immediately.
Like, look at this ward. This ward allows me to see the entire brush effectively. It's better. If I had placed the ward right here, let me show you.
I know my path.
It would look like something like this. Look at this ward right here. I'm just gonna place it on the side. If I place this ward right here, it's not gonna be able to look into this corridor.
They will know war.
Walk away. This ward only looks at this tiny area. It's not a very good ward. I can see them coming from raids, but I won't have as much time to react from someone coming from right here. But if I had placed a ward at the edge, like right here, now this ward allows me to see all the way in here as well as giving me vision here. I know you can't really tell because this ward's already been placed, but this vision does give you vision. This ward. I gotta go back and buy some more wards. But yeah, generally when you're warding brushes around corners, you don't want to ward right into the wall. You want to ward as far away from the wall as possible so you can wrap around the corners. Now I'll be showing you how to ward over a wall. Generally, when you want to ward over a wall, you want to hug the wall. Hug the wall like this. Get right close next to it. Put your ward out, and you don't want to put it too close to the river. Because if I just ward like this, it'll just drop out. It's just gonna drop out. See, this obviously means like the terrain's not gonna push it randomly all the way up there. I have to ward deeper, like over here.
My speed is restless.
See, if it's a little deeper, it gets pushed upwards more. It goes right into the brush. But if I ward on the side like this, there's no way this is going to get pushed up. It's just going to get brushed off to the side. It's kind of like, think of it as like a rubber stop. If you just ward right here, it's going to bounce off to the side. If I ward right here, it could bounce off to the side, right? Like more like, it's kind of unpredictable, but at the same time, if it's more meaty within the terrain, there's a higher chance it gets bumped up. And that's how you ward over ledges like that. You do the same thing over here. You'd hug this wall. Then you just place a ward roughly in this area, then it would get translated into the side brush.
Immediately.
Yeah, those are really good wards, and also this is pretty much just a competitive ward, and I'll just explain the thought process behind it. Recently, people have been warding right here. This ward right here. If you're on blue side and you invade, and you're putting some deep wards in, generally your wards will look like this. Do you notice how I looked? I tried really hard to ward this ward is great. It looks right. I can actually see red from this ward, and I did that by I just looked at it from the light blue to green, and you just touch right here at the transition of colors. You do that, and you'll be able to look past the ledge and into the red buff. So this gives me information on red, and also shows me anyone walking over here. Say the jungler does red, we'll be able to see him if he goes left. Obviously, if he walks this way, he's going to be ganking a lane, and he's going to walk this way. He might be going mid, but top is safe.
Onward.
This is why this is such a great ward. But this ward right here is basically in competitive play, people always swap lanes, and generally when you swap lanes, there's a higher chance for the dual lane top. They could do double golems if they're not leashing. If their jungler doesn't start red, which we'll find out right here, they can start doubles, and this ward will spot it out and allow for counterplay from blue side. If I were to see an enemy just randomly walk here, you know, their dual lanes up here, I spot the jungler out real early, you know, say it's 145, and I'm blue side, my bot lane's right here. I'm like, oh wow, there's 3 people top side. Because these wards spot them out early, before they walk to lane, before they do a buff, I can go straight to their blue and contest. And that's why those wards just give you so much information. But yeah, those are pretty much the more interesting and less known warding spots of today's competitive play. There are more spots, but they're not as common and they're not as useful. But that's enough. That's it for my warding tutorial. My Razor Academy guy. And thanks for watching.
Okay, so this is my Razor Academy video for Malphite. And this game I'm playing against CRS. I think this game was potentially streamed. I'm not 100% sure yet. So I started off the game by misclicking and buying only 1 side ward instead of 2 side wards. So that's pretty good. I'm a pretty good player. But no biggie. It's actually, you know, you play on.